Do you know? Remember, I mentioned Coach Tommy to you.
Coach Tommy.
Do you remember this?
I don't know that I remember that name. What's Tommy known for?
Well, there's a guy. Now, I go to the gym every day, or 6 days a week.
Yeah, every day almost.
Almost. And I found a gym that I really like, and they do 1-hour classes. And you have a coach in each class, and they coach you through treadmill and rower and weight floor and all this stuff.
Remind me to ask you a question about this when we're done.
Okay,
with Coach Tommy.
Okay, great. Well, Coach Tommy, I had heard about him. Now, he doesn't coach in our area.
He's from out of town.
Out-of-town coach.
I think I remember now.
You know.
He's got like one of the great reputations.
Exactly.
Of all the coaches.
Yes.
He's from the Triangle.
He's from the Triangle.
Triangle Tommy.
Woo. Yeah. And probably almost a year ago now, someone who listens to us said, I'm going to drive an hour plus to take a class with you, meaning me. And that's what my son said. Is this a John Lennon situation?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he said that. He said, is this a... And I said, I don't think so, no.
Props to your son for...
knowing.
Yeah.
I agree. He's like...
that type of learning.
Dad, this is not like a John Lennon situation, is it? I said, I don't believe it is, no. She couldn't have been nicer. But when she got here, she goes, you need to come to the Triangle and take a class with Coach Tommy. He's the best of the best. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, a whole drive to the Triangle to see Coach Tommy, even though he had great reputations. I don't know. Well, it turns out he's like a regional manager. Oh. So occasionally he would come here. Mm-hmm. And so I did take a class or two with him. And he is a phenomenal coach and a great guy. And he said, he listens. And so he was really nice. Yeah. So probably 4 or 5 months ago, he came up to me after one of the classes that he was in, and he said, there is a guy that I know named Daniel who's a huge fan of your show, lives in Chapel Hill. And I said, oh, that's really nice. And he goes, he's getting married in May, and I'm wondering if you can do a favor. And I said, sure. It's Coach Tommy. I said, sure. I assumed I would be signing a shirt and getting you all to sign a shirt and sending it off, Right. And I said...
It's a wedding, though. That's a little different type of vibe.
Right. And I said to Coach Tommy, sure. And he goes, great. You'll come to the rehearsal dinner?
Ooh.
Well, you know me. I don't ever go to anything.
Especially for people you don't know.
Yeah. And he...
We want you to host and roast?
He said, so I said, let me check my schedule. And he goes, well, it's 5 months. Okay, right. He goes, well, it's 5 months away. Of course, I looked up. If I looked at my schedule, it is a blank
There are the tumbling on your calendar, tumbleweeds go across it.
I never do anything.
Now you're busy, but it's the same thing every day.
I know it's a Friday night.
It was a Friday night.
They're the blankest.
Nothing. I said, Tommy, I'm so busy. I'm just chock full of stuff. He's like,
I'll get back to you.
That's what I said. And he said, I'm going to have the bride contact you because the idea is this. He says, the groom loves your show. And I said,
can you jump out of a cake?
And wear a nun's costume. We'll make it an angel food cake.
And he said, the idea is he loves your show, and she wants to surprise him by having you come to the rehearsal dinner and play a game of put up or shut up rock and roll trivia with. And I said, okay, so I would have to write a game of put up or shut up for a guy I've never met. And
for a room full of people you've never seen.
Of people, and drive an hour and a half to get there on a Friday night. And he goes, yeah, that's it. I was like, all right, let me think of it. Let me check my schedule.
Sounds good.
Okay. So.
That's a big ask.
Okay, right. But I do love, I love Coach Tommy. I mean, he's such a good guy. And he's such a great coach. And, I have trouble saying no. So
that's a fact.
So here was my plan. He said, I'm going to have the bride. Her name's Carrie. He said, I'm going to have the bride email you. And I said, great. Well, my plan. Ignore the email entirely. And so
Carrie will forget.
That's what I thought. And so I didn't
like all the birthday requests we get.
Exactly. I'm just going to ignore
stacks of them out there in the lobby.
Right. Well, about a month later, here's the email from somebody I don't know, and it's got Coach Tommy included in it. She goes, I know Coach Tommy, and here's my idea, and I want you to come to the rehearsal dinner. And Daniel was her fiance's name, and she's like, he will be so excited, and so, it'll be such a great thing if you can come and play rock and roll trivia with him. Well, I stuck to my guns and ignored. I didn't want to say no. Mm-hmm. I ignore things. That's what I do. I thought this will go away. She'll never
let
do
it
it.
fester in the inbox.
Right. Right. So she was persistent. She kept on, every couple of days. She's like, I just wanted to move this back to your inbox. And,
Oh, boy.
all that stuff.
She knows your game.
Right. So finally, in a moment of weakness, I said, okay.
Oh.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. And regret.
As soon as you hit send.
And then I thought, surely. But then I said, my schedule, if the radio station asks me to do something, I've got to do it.
Got to be there.
But on a Friday night,
There ain't nothing
coming on.
Mm-hmm.
No. And so, things came up. People around me got COVID. I tested myself. I never, and everything worked. And so then she kept touching base with me like, here's what we want to do. So I did it. I wrote the rock and roll trivia. And I was like, and the idea was I'm going to ask him rock and roll trivia questions. And for everyone he gets right, I'm going to have him choose somebody in the wedding crowd to give a T-shirt to. And so that's...
Wow.
Yeah. So I wrote like 20 questions, and I went down there with 10 or 15 T-shirts, which BB Shea got for me.
What type of venue are we talking?
Really nice place. It was a restaurant.
Like a private room?
Private room
Okay.
in a restaurant. It was called Old East Tavern in Chapel Hill, and really nice. Mm-hmm. So I had to coordinate all this, and the idea was, okay, I'll hide outside in the car while everybody goes in. And so I got down, crouched and Coach Tommy will come out and get me, and then they'll introduce you, and you go in. And I thought to myself, this is going to be the most underwhelming thing for them.
Oh my God! All the family in from out of town.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Who's sad?
Who's this? Who is it? Yeah.
He's giving out T-shirts.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I thought this is going to be.
Yeah, it's like bringing in the Assistant Secretary of State.
Right.
You don't,
Yeah, it's like-
everybody knows Blinken, but who knows who this person is? This is
you don't know, right?
You don't know the response. Well, how was it when you walked in the room?
Great. I mean, the crowd went crazy.
How many people are we talking?
A couple of hundred, 150, 200 people. Yeah. It was
At
pretty
a
big.
rehearsal
At a
dinner?
rehearsal dinner. Well, I'd say about 150.
Wow, that's still
Pretty
huge.
big. Pretty big thing. It's
a party.
Yeah. And the groom, Daniel, was floored. He couldn't believe it. I asked him the rock and roll trivia questions. He got some right. A lot of people in the audience would shout them out.
Yeah.
Just a party atmosphere. And, I mean, it went off without a hitch. And I really felt good for doing it. And then Coach Tommy said, now, we were there a couple of hours. And he goes, we're going to He's Not.
Local legendary bar.
That's a legendary bar.
He's not here.
He's not here. And I said, Tommy, it's 8:30.
The sun is setting.
I said, I don't know.
And it's Friday night.
He goes, you're going to He's Not. And after that, we're going to Sup Dog. And I said, Tommy,
Oh, my word.
this is not, I'm not your age. They're younger. They were younger than me. Of
course.
And I said, Tommy, I'm going to clear out after all this. So we had all that out and everything. And eventually he's like, follow me to He's Not. But I got lost and took the wrong exit. Came on back home is what I did. But the interesting thing was I sat with him. And I remember he's like a regional director at the gym. And we were talking. So there's a lot of gym talk. And I said, I sweat so much. I've chronicled that. They hand me extra wipes there. I sweat so much. He goes, not only that, we have meetings about your treatment of the treadmill.
Is that under the policy? Treatment of treadmill.
Now, he had had a couple of drinks.
My what?
He had had a few drinks. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, man, you're rough on that treadmill. You're big and you really go hard. And
That made it all the way up to corporate.
apparently.
What you're doing to the belts?
I mean, that should stay in your local facility. That didn't go to corporate.
So too. I thought this really. He goes, we have a lot of meetings about moving you from treadmill to treadmill so you don't punish one.
Even out the wear.
The Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, odd ones.
Yeah.
And Tuesday, Thursday, even ones.
Because a lot of people select when you come in, if you're early enough, you can say, I want number 12, which is what I do. And but sometimes they'll say, wouldn't you prefer number 3?
Now you know the reason.
Yeah.
Now you know the reason.
He says, yeah, we've discussed your punishment of the belts, because they come in and maintain them once a month, and they're like, who's on 12? And apparently it's me that's doing all the, causing all the problems. But like you said, Dave, I didn't expect it to make it all the way up the corporate ladder.
Did they feed you at least Friday night?
Oh, yes. Heavy hors d'oeuvres. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice place. And they
Did you ever
offered.
make Ultra?
Yeah, I do. I do.
2 on a
And
Friday.
they
What'd your
offer-
wife have?
She didn't go.
She had the
They didn't
usual.
plus one you?
Yeah, they said you can bring. they were like, bring your wife. We'll get you a room. You can stay overnight. I mean, they
Oh,
were
nice.
They couldn't have been more generous. But I wanted to do an in and out. You know, I was like,
yeah. Sometimes if you go for the full thing, you feel like you need to do more, and you want to do as little.
If you had gone, Kelly, to both, I have a hunch you would have ended up at the ceremony the following
it's
day.
possible. Yeah. It's possible. And then I got to
both of the post-dinner bars.
And I got real friendly with the bride. Not in a bad way.
No, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and she sent me a video of a little bit of their wedding. And so, because the day after the wedding.
They taking a trip somewhere?
Yeah, 2.5 week cruise around the fjords.
The fjords.
Up in the. I want to say that's right. I asked the.
Norway and Iceland?
Yeah, they're up in that area. They're going that area, and a 2.5 week cruise.
What are these young kids doing for a living? That's good stuff.
Are they in the fitness biz?
No, they met him through that, but they did not. They were not. I don't know what they do for a living, but a lot of and then all their friends come up and tell stories about them and everything. And it was really nice. And I was like, my God, I mean, this actually happened. I'm here doing this, Well,
here's my follow-up, Kelly, regarding your gym and also current events in the news. I don't know if Dave, if BB Shea, if you've seen this, but Chris Kelly and I got a sneak preview of an interview with Savannah Guthrie doing on the Today Show with the guy in Florida who landed the plane when his pilot was incapacitated.
Right.
I still don't know what happened to him. It was a heart attack
I
or
haven't
whatever
heard that.
it was.
I haven't heard. Yeah.
But anyway, this guy was in the hangar in Florida. Unbelievably cool.
Yeah.
He just saved his own life and the life of his pilot. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there, and Dave, he's got his shades around his neck like you, long sleeve tee, shorts, flip-flops.
Yeah.
He looks like you on Friday.
Yeah, he does.
Right. Like he's headed to the beach.
He did.
So my question to you, Kelly, is this. Now that you've been at your gym for X number of years.
Yeah.
On your little dry rowboat, if we put you in an actual Olympic sculling rowboat, could you get across a lake?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I do think so. I would put myself to the test.
But there's a whole lot more balance involved in water.
I'm sure that's right, but I do core strengthening.
It's all about the core.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think that's your core.
I'm getting what is
your chest.
That's about 2 feet high.
That's your throat.
I've been doing a lot of
your core's down here.
Put your larynx.
A lot of core strengthening, and I'm very big into that. And I'm probably getting ready to do yoga.
Well, now who have you said yes to?
Bridesmaid?
Coach Tommy said, I gotta get more limber.
You doing triangle yoga?
He said, yeah. I'm riding over to triangle yoga. It's only an hour and a half drive. It's no big deal. But he said, if you want to get really good, you got to get limber. And I'm going to stretch zone, which is great, but I probably start doing yoga too. I'm probably just really
health nut.
Stretching is so important.
Look at you.
When Biggie comes back, I'm just getting into it, because I'm going to support him the whole thing.